Minecraft has had countless controversial updates over the past decade, but one update has stood far above the rest, with that being 1.9, the combat update, which left the Minecraft PvP system completely destroyed. But what if I told you that there was an update that could have entirely fixed this? The keyword being could have. On February 29, 2016, Mojang released a 1.9 combat update for Minecraft, which made some of the most controversial changes to Minecraft PvP and gameplay in the game's history. Players from all around the globe hated this update because of the combat changes, as Mojang decided to add the worst feature ever to PvP, a weapon cooldown. Before this update, PvP was entirely based on how fast you could click and hit your opponent. It was simple, fun, and players enjoyed the fast pace. Despite this, Mojang felt the need to fix this, which they tried doing by making a more realistic cooldown. Spamming still hadn't disappeared at this time, but a spam swing did so much less damage than a fully charged swing, so trying to use it quickly became the easiest way to get yourself killed in a fight. Despite this, the combat update delivered so much more to Minecraft, with changes focused on the end that included a revamped Ender Dragon fight, end cities, shulkers, and yet another extremely controversial item, the elytra. However, the new combat mechanics overshadowed these from the player's perspective, as many had already gotten used to fighting in the game before the update. Players found all of these changes to be hard to adapt to, and most either retreated back to playing 1.8 on servers that still allowed it, such as Hypixel, or decided to quit the game altogether. Top level PvPers had to throw away their entire skill set and develop a whole new one if they wanted to keep up with the modern game. Of course, thousands if not millions of players complained about these changes, but I guess Mojang found it better to ignore nearly their entire fan base, as they made absolutely zero changes to the combat system. Well, not until years later anyway. The biggest change to Minecraft that the first version of the combat update brought was the influence on players to start using axes in combat more often. Even though most players hated this update because of the new combat system, they slowly started getting used to it. Some of the players weren't so cooperative, however, and they still exclusively played on old servers where their favorite modes such as Bed Wars, Sky Wars, and Duels have slowly been decreasing in popularity for quite some time now. A few years later, when players had already gotten used to the new combat system and fewer servers were running on older versions, rumors about the new combat update started. At this point, several theories had already been created surrounding the contents of the potential new update, so when famous Minecraft developer Jeb tweeted about this update, it went absolutely viral within just a few minutes. For years, players in the community had simply been dreaming about this update, so when in 2019 Jeb tweeted that the combat system in Minecraft finally deserved a change by stating that Java and Bedrock should have the same combat system, it's safe to say the community was absolutely ecstatic. And during his research into the 1.8 scene of Minecraft, Jeb also stated that he found jitter clicking to be funny. I can't even imagine what he would think if he saw drag clicking. A few months later, in July of 2019, Jeb posted a Reddit thread with a custom Java edition snapshot that would allow players to test out and provide feedback on a potential new combat system. The main and best thing that this update would bring back was of course an ability to spam click while still dealing the full damage of a weapon. Not only that, but you could also spam attack and charge at the exact same time. That change itself would already make PvP much more interesting. Axes would also deal much more damage, but have slightly less range than before, and combined, these two features overall still made the axe a very strong option. But it wouldn't be so interesting if that was the best and only way to win a fight, so Mojang decided to spice things up by increasing the attack range while charging. Essentially what this means is that if someone's spamming you, you can hit them by charging at them during a spam combo in order to break their combo chain. At this point, you would think that the update couldn't possibly get any better, but Mojang also completely changed up the trident's functionality by increasing its range by an entire block up to 4 blocks. This made the trident a perfect weapon that would be used for breaking combo chains. All in all, it's safe to say that this update would have made Minecraft literally perfect. All you would need to win every fight was a sword, axe, and a trident, using the axe to get burst damage, the sword for combos, and the trident to break your opponent's combos. After the release of the snapshot, 1.8 players finally decided to test out another version using tridents, elytras, shields, and all of the improved weapons. And the response from these players was overwhelmingly positive. Players that had previously avoided the newer versions due to their inability to spam attack finally were able to do so on a newer version, and for a second it seemed Mojang finally realized that they should listen to advice coming from the actual community. Thousands of people at this time were excitedly commenting on Jeb's Reddit thread suggesting more changes to the PvP system he should make, such as stacking eggs and snowballs into a full stack, or an enchantment for bows and tridents that turns them into homing missiles. But of course, as we know now, these were never added. You see, the last snapshot for this update was uploaded over 3 years ago. So what happened to the official release of this new combat update, and why haven't we at least got a new snapshot? Well, the latest snapshot was released shortly after the 1.16 update, which of course was followed by the 1.17 Cliffs and Caves update. On April 14th of 2021, Mojang announced that the 1.17 update would be split into 2 updates due to the amount of complexity of content, as well as making sure that things weren't too overwhelming for their developer team. And while it was never confirmed, it's likely that Jeb dedicated most of his time towards fixing all of the issues the previous updates brought, and decided to postpone production on his unofficial combat update. It was at this time that the community decided to take things into their own hands, which became even more apparent last year when a YouTuber by the name of MindManor uploaded a short video of all of the PvP changes we could expect to see in the combat update. But instead of playing on the official snapshot, he was playing on a community-made snapshot, and his video instantly went viral. Everyone was super eager to test out this update, and servers that allowed for this gameplay saw a massive spike in popularity. So would my channel if you hit the subscribe button. Over the following weeks, more YouTubers would post videos and continue to build hype around the update, which led to more players downloading the custom snapshot. This community-made mod united the whole community once again, with 1.8 players loving this mod because it allowed them to once again break their mouse in each fight and spam attack their opponents. And the 1.9 players felt like their PvP style had been integrated as well, leaving nobody left to complain. The snapshot continued to grow in popularity at this time, with countless YouTubers sharing their experiences with the update and providing tutorials and explanations for the new mechanics to their fans. Of course, this continued to build a ton of hype, and many believed the changes would be released in the 1.19 update, which as we know now, ended up being completely untrue. At this point, it seemed inevitable that 1.20 would bring the changes to the combat system that everyone had been waiting literally years to see. After the recent 1.20 Trails and Tales update didn't include any changes to PvP, it now seems likely that we'll see the improved combat system in a future update, although this has never really been confirmed. The past few updates, including the 1.20 update, have had much more of a focus on storytelling and world building, really trying to focus on enhancing gameplay for the general community. The problem here is that Minecraft is now filled with infinite new items, materials, and gameplay features, yet the PvP hasn't changed in over 10 full release updates. And with only swords and axes serving as effective melee weapons, ranged weapons limited to just a bow, crossbow, and trident, and only having a single shield type, Minecraft relies a ton on its enchantments to add variety to its combat. It's no secret either that multiplayer Minecraft has lost a lot of its popularity in recent years as well, with players losing interest in the game's combat system, especially for modes such as Bed Wars and Sky Wars, which used to be massively popular, but now only average a few thousand players combined. At this point though, all we can do is hope for the best with this update being released, as that's the only way we'll ever get to see a perfect PvP system in Minecraft. But no matter which PvP version you're on, let's be honest, you're still gonna lose anyway.